Hello, YouTube folk. Okay, that was weird. Hey guys, Mackenzie back here with ya. So, I had planned on making a video on myths and such of how to conceive a girl, and then I would follow that with a video on how to conceive a boy, but I wanted to make one video in between there before, partially because, very exciting news, I officially ovulated last night. Well, I got a positive ovulation test last night, so somewhere within the last 24 hours I ovulated, even though I didn't have a period. Even better. So I had gotten some pretty what I thought were positive ovulation tests thus far, but none that my app really registered as ovulating. It just registered as like a high LH. But this time it was like, girl, you are ovulating. Go baby dance, do whatever you gotta do. So that was really, really exciting. Because I knew that you didn't have to have a period to ovulate, but it's so much easier to track it. So, from what I've learned so far, I felt it would be appropriate to make a video on how you know you're ovulating when you have an irregular cycle. So, super easy video for me to make considering I've done a lot of research on it. And it's kind of a fun one because there's a couple things that I knew about, but I didn't really know enough about to pay attention to. But I figured this could help you guys. So, if you have an irregular cycle, stay tuned. Or if you don't have a cycle, stay tuned. Or if you just want to know some more tips on, you know, what to be aware of and look for to find out when you're ovulating. So, I've got 9 things. I keep like using this pen, like it's really doing something. I have this thing that I do where I like flip it around my fingers. Everyone asked if I was in debate in high school because I think that was like a speech and debate thing, but I just learned how to do it, and it's a really horrible habit, and I end up like flinging the pen across the room like every other time, and it's just obnoxious, so I put it down. You're welcome. Okay, so I've got 9 things for you today that are symptoms or signs of ovulation, so stay tuned, take a couple notes, and let me know if it works. So first, I'm going to start off by kind of explaining very briefly what ovulation is. So ovulation is when there's the ovarian follicles release an egg, then travels through the fallopian tubes, however they go, and into the uterus. And what happens during that travel is a sperm can fertilize the egg, hopefully creating a pregnancy. During ovulation, I just wrote this one down, there's high levels of estrogen, which triggers the release of the luteinizing hormone, which is what all the ovulation tests pick up, which then tells the ovaries to release an egg. So, estrogen causes the release of an egg, travels through to your uterus, hopefully is fertilized, and you make a baby. So, your most fertile days are 5 days before ovulation and the day of ovulation, and your highest percentage of becoming pregnant is if you are sexually active the 2 days prior to ovulation. So that's one hard thing, is a lot of people think that on the actual day that you're ovulating you need to like fit in as much baby dancing as you can, but really, you know, sperm can last I think up to 6 days in your body. So if you kind of have an idea of when you're ovulating, it's really important to have sex prior to that day, so that way whenever the egg is released, there's already those little girls and boys swimming around to be able to fertilize it. So keep that in mind. Alright, first thing on here, super straightforward, easy, is track your cycle on a calendar. Now, all of those of you out there that are like me, that can't really track your cycle when you don't have one or it's extremely irregular, this doesn't apply as much to you, but it is still very important to write it down when you do even spot, and then obviously when you get your period, make sure you track that. So, you know, hopefully it doesn't take you many cycles to get pregnant, but, you know, over a course of a certain amount of time, it is nice to look back and say, okay, well, I did have my period or spot on these days. Could that have anything to do with it? And it could also be really good information to take with you if you ever go to like a fertility consultation or anything like that, to show them, hey, this is what my cycle looks like. I ain't lying to you. So first one is chart your cycle. Second one is pretty obvious thing, which is OPKs, which is ovulation predictor kits. So what OPKs do is they essentially just measure the LH in your system, so the luteinizing hormone and the level of that. And LH increases 24 hours to 48 hours prior to ovulation. So it's supposed to predict and tell you, you know, before you ovulate, so you kind of have time to get your stuff together and baby dance and according to. Hi, Tommy. So OPK is a really nice thing. Quick little insert. I use Easy at Home, which I ordered from Amazon. It comes with directions on what app to download, which I'll talk about in one of the other numbers. So really easy to use. You can kind of track all of your different strips. You can take pictures of it, and it's awesome. So OPK is really good idea. And mind you, you need to give yourself a little bit of time to learn how to read the OPKs and not get too excited if you see that second line, because with the OPKs, they are not like pregnancy tests. So keep that in mind as well. Third one is track it with an app. I started off using Ovia. I really like it because you can pick a bunch of different things for that day. So you pull up that day, you can add how your mood is, happy, sad, irritable, frustrated. If you have any kind of symptoms, so cramping or spotting, there's places to leave notes. You can put if you baby danced, if you ovulated, you can log your period, you can put your basal body temperature, and it'll pull up a bunch of different charts to kind of let you know what's going on with your body. If you can start to see trends before you ovulate or after you ovulate, give you a good idea of how you can track it. So that's a great thing. When I got my OPK kit, it came with a little suggestion to download Pre-Mom. So I did. It's not as in-depth as Ovia, so you can't add as many things as you can with Ovia, but I really like it because it's super straightforward. And my favorite part is after you take an ovulation test, you can actually scan it, the little picture taking thing, and it'll read the LH level, you know, and assign it a certain like LH percentage and tell you when you're ovulating, essentially. It's obvious to read them, but sometimes us girls need a little help because we like to see lines that don't exist. So that's a really neat thing. So there's a bunch of good apps out there. Those are the two that I just use. Ovia and Pre-Mom. So I suggest getting an app, start using it, start documenting everything. If you have certain notes you want to add in for that day, it's really nice to put those in so you can refer back to them later. So number 3 was track with an app. Number 4 is basal body temperature. Taking your temperature first thing in the morning. I'm telling you, before you do anything, before you even stir, before you uncover your body, before you turn over a bunch of times and yawn or stretch, grab your thermometer, turn it on, put it in your mouth, put it in your girl down there. Some people do that. Put it on your armpit, do something, and check your body temperature. Make sure you're doing it ideally in the same time frame each morning. And like I said, first thing when you wake up, before you do anything. Try not to even breathe before you take it. I know it's hard to do. So basically what that does is it allows you to see when you have a spike in your body temperature, which is anywhere from 0.5 to 1% Fahrenheit spike, which is not very much, but when you start taking your body temperature, you realize they're pretty close to each other for the most part. So when your body temperature, oh my gosh, my cat really wanted up here. He's been trying for like 5 minutes. When your body temperature spikes, that is telling you that ovulation has occurred. So taking your body temperature won't necessarily tell you when in that exact moment you are ovulating, because once it's like spiked, it means that you already ovulated, but that still allows you to track it. You can still put it into your app, so that way you can kind of see trends and see how long it takes for you to ovulate. So that's a really good one. I do it every single morning. I put it into my Ovia app and I put it into my Pre-Mom app, so I can bring up charts and look at some stuff. So that was number 4. Number 5 is you can see an increase in your resting pulse rate. Not by very much, but an increase by 2 to 5 beats per minute. That will give you an indication if you're ovulating. I don't do that. I think it would be kind of hard, one, to remember to do each day, especially because you have to remember to do it when you're resting, which the ideal time to do that is when you're sleeping. So if you wear like a Fitbit or an iWatch or anything like that overnight, that'd be a really great way to do it because it already does it for you. But it is a good way to know when you're ovulating, so that's another one too. I'm sorry, my cat's tail is just like all over the place. He loves to move his tail. It's like his favorite thing to do, and it's really cute, and it's funny, and he's adorable. So, and he's in the middle of everything, and he's going to walk right across the screen. You are so sweet. Okay, so that was number 5, is track your resting pulse rate. Again, it'll increase by 2 to 5 beats per minute. I have hair on my nose. It's my cat's, not mine. Okay, it's time for you to get down. Bye-bye. Okay, that was number 5. Number 6 is something pretty simple. That is tenderness in your breasts and nipples. That's a good sign of ovulation. Super straightforward. We all can tell when our breasts and our nipples are sore. Now, I ain't talking like, yeah, baby danced the night before and he got a little excited and that's why they're sore. I'm talking like no reason why they're sore other than probably ovulating, so keep that in mind. That's number 6. Number 7 is cervix position. So, I haven't tried this yet. I guess like I didn't know enough information about it to know what my cervix needed to be doing to understand how it's connected to ovulation, but I will explain that to you. So, typically when you're not ovulating, your cervix is low, and the opening of your cervix is very small. So what they suggest doing is make sure your finger is clean, stick your finger up there, you can feel your cervix. Once you do that pretty often, you'll start to really understand the distance of where your cervix is from the opening of your vagina and where you stick your finger in there. So, like I said, typically when you're not ovulating, your cervix is low. When you are ovulating, the cervix moves higher and becomes soft and is more open. So I would imagine that once you're used to checking your cervix position, that would be pretty easy to indicate where your cervix is sitting. And that is a straightforward, like scientific fact kind of deal. That's a great way to track your ovulation if you're into that. And it can be something you can do in the shower, like, you know, make it sanitary or something. So that's number 7. Number 8 is kind of connected to that, and it's cervical mucus. This is a huge one. It's so easy to follow. It's so easy to learn. It's so easy to pay attention to because we go to the bathroom every day and we wipe every day. So just pay attention to that. It's so easy. So, when you are closer to ovulation, your cervical mucus will resemble more of egg whites, raw egg whites, okay? So that's like a very watery content, slippery, clear liquid. I always have to remind myself it's raw egg whites because when I think of egg whites, I think of a cooked egg and it's white. And we do get white cervical mucus, so it's totally different. So make sure you're thinking of clear, stretchy, kind of watery, sticky mucus, and that means that you are ovulating. Because after ovulation, it becomes dry. You know, there's not really anything down there, and then it kind of changes in between, and then once it becomes the clear, stretchy, raw egg whitey consistency, pay attention. Start baby dancing right then and there. So that was number 8. And our last, but certainly not least, is some women, when they ovulate, they say they just feel good. They feel like their skin looks great. They feel like they look great. Their hair is on point. They feel good with themselves. They think they look good. They look in their mirror and they're like, today's going to be a good day. People are going to look at me and they're going to be like, that girl's attractive. I like the way her face is doing what it's doing today. So, Some people say they feel that way, and I guess when you get really in tune with your body, you know when you're ovulating and you feel great. And that might have to do with sometimes when women are ovulating, they have a higher sex drive there, which would clearly make me happier, so I would hope it make you happier. So that just brings your old mood up. So something to look forward to. So anyways, I hope those 9 signs helped you. They really helped me. The ones that I mainly focus on is cervical mucus, using an app, and body temperature, and OPKs. Those are my 4 go-to things. I wake up in the morning, I take my body temperature, immediately put it in my Ovia and my Premom app. I go throughout my day. I pay attention to when I go to the bathroom, how I feel down there. When I get home from work, I take an ovulation test, give it its little time frame it needs, look at it, get super excited if it's positive, or I can tell it's starting to increase and I'm getting closer to ovulation. Take a picture with my little Premom app, let it scan it, let it tell me where I'm at for that day, and I put it on a piece of paper and I write the date next to it and I repeat the next day. So I made another video reviewing the OPK that I do use, how much it is, where I buy it, and another video that goes over ovulation and pre-seed. So take a look at that one. Let me know if you guys use the Easy at Home OPK and if you like it, and if you have downloaded the Premom app and like it as well. Also, for you guys that already have ovulation test strips at home that you're using that might not be the Easy at Home brand, download the Premom app. It's free. And see if it will let you scan your brand of ovulation test strips. I would assume you could, but I'm interested to see if it works. If so, that'd be really cool. Yeah, I'm just interested to see if they work. So try that. Let me know how it goes. And let me know if you guys... Oh my gosh, he knocks off everything inside. This is ridiculous. Let me know if you guys have any other signs that are super huge for you that let you know that you are ovulating. And, you know, if it's something I haven't mentioned, I'd be really interested to know so I can start paying attention to that. So everyone has their own little thing and group of things that they use to let them know what's going on with their body. So I'd be interested to know. You are the cutest thing I've ever seen. Look at this. Excuse the freaking Christmas presents in the background. That's ridiculous. But they all go to the same place and we just have to go see them. Yeah. Anyways. This is my sewing room and it needs cleaned really bad. Because it just does. And someone likes to get into my sewing armoire and knock off the spools of thread. And then I find them when I get home. And they're like all like... huge and unraveled and useless at that point. So it's great stuff. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my videos. If you like them, give it a thumbs up. If you need anything or have any questions or have any suggestions for me, leave me comments down below. Press the subscribe button. Subscribe. And I hope that you tune into the rest of my videos. The next one I make will be, I know, you're not getting attention either. The next one I make will be on how to conceive a girl, and then I will follow that with another video a couple days later on how to conceive a boy. I will try my hardest to be more consistent on making videos on particular days. Just right now I'm trying to figure out my whole schedule. So anyways, thank you guys very much. Happy baby dancing, and I'll see you soon.